Last episode, we built a jetpack, went on an adventure, got a new horse, and built a giant bridge. And today, we build another bridge, but much smaller this time. And finally, we will build our first freight train, which is going to transport the logs all the way from our sawmill back to our main base storage, which actually doesn't exist yet. We certainly have our work cut out for us today. So let's take it nice and easy first off, and start off with the small bridge and the tidying up of the last bit of this first railroad. But for that, I need girders. Lots and lots of girders. And to get lots of girders, we need lots of iron sheets and lots of andesite alloys. So I guess we're going to be doing some crafting to begin with. Is 2 stacks going to be enough? Probably not. Let's dump some more on. So let's get them squashing and a bunch of alloy mixed up. Then we should be good to head over and make a start. Well, I'm full of girders and rail. Let's go build this bridge. And the first thing I want to do over here is just to completely remove this bit of track, get rid of all the stone, and we do actually need to lower the track on that side a little bit because I actually want a straight bridge here. It's going to make it much easier to build. So let's quickly remove this bit of track first, just so the other